3, 2, 1, we're live. Well, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning wherever you are in the world. It's something different. Yeah.
WHIRLD.
Around. Yeah. Welcome to the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. I'm Thundercloud. Mum calls me James. Washing away the garbage, leaving rainbows after rain sometime next week when the rain's finished. Hopefully we'll get joined by Steve tonight. Welcome Ashley, Gladys, Vincent, Paul, Buddy, myself, the fish. Anyone else? Yeah, so Steve's back, so hopefully he'll be up soon. I've sent him a message and he should be on his way. Let's begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we broadcast and acknowledge the continuing connection to the land, water and community of the elders past, present and emerging, and acknowledge that sovereignty's never been ceded. This is NAIDOC week now. National stands for the National Aboriginal and Islander Day Observance Committee. I'm pretty sure I've got that right. Yes. It's not Day of Celebration, it's Day Observance Committee, which was how it started back there in the 1990s when they first kicked it off there. So yeah, on that note, I'll be doing some First Nations poet, and we'll mention some names of people who have died. So for cultural sensitivity. That's just your cultural sensitivity warning later on, well now actually. So first what I'm going to do is this one here, which is a Wiradjuri poet, Kevin Gilbert, was stolen from his family when he was young and escaped from the orphanage and grew up on the I can't even remember the name of the river now, but with his mob. And
No,
the other one. Yeah. Anyway, he began writing poetry when he was locked up in jail. But this is his book, Child's Dreaming, Poetry by Kevin Gilbert, and it's a selection of younger poetry aimed at a children's audience. It's all about mostly animals, and I'm going to do quite a few, but there's quite a few little short ones out of this book that I'll be doing tonight. Kevin Gilbert. Hear the lilt of laughter. Hear the lilt of laughter of the children while in school they're tracking platypus down by the swimming pool. The children saw Mum's turtle tracks that led them to her eggs. A little further on they found Blue Tongue, who has short legs. As they studied further, looking at the trees they saw, the scratch tracks made by Will-eye Possum, sharp and shining claw, they saw where old Crow had his lunch of some old piece of meat and running tracks of marsupial mouse that Dingo tried to eat. And then on the horizon they saw a rainbow gleam and listened to the legend of what made rainbow glow and beam. After lunch they went to read the message of the birds and what the wind was saying. Things you've never heard. They read of the dancing of the ants, the flight of native bees, and what the clouds were saying high above the tall gum trees. The children found some vegetables, yam and a cabbage tree. They must collect some fruit and meat and then go home for tea. They had a very busy day and learned a lot as well. They had a corroboree dance that night with happy tales to tell. The white fella went up to an Aboriginal fella and said to him, "Mate, what was Australia called before we were here?" Owls.
Ha! Ha!
Give it back. Let's give it back.
Can I use that?
It's not my joke, I'm someone else. Yeah.
Us colonialists to laugh.
Yeah, we still
Yeah.
You steal everything, mate.
Yeah.
Little paw print. Here's someone's little paw prints, whose I do not know, carved upon the desert sand in lovely sculptured row. And is that hole an antline's nest or some small dry desert beast that little paw prints tried to find to make a dinner feast? That was for you, buddy.
Hey.
There you go.
Hey.
There's the paw print, see?
Ooh.
Alright, I'm just going to do some quite short ones out of this. One of my favourites, eagle. I saw Big Eagle watching me while he sat on the old gum tree. I thought, I'm glad I'm as big as me and not as big as Finch.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's nice and short, yeah. And desert pea for the skirt, desert pea. I stared hard at the desert pea, had two eyes, it was plain to see. I blinked and winked, then stared again, but it didn't blink back at me. Me, yeah, nice and, they're just little ones, so we'll just, trapdoor spider. Old trapdoor often thinks it's best to close the trapdoor on its nest. He's such a nasty bitey thing, the ant tribe would all come to fling great ant-sized boulders down on him if he didn't have a door.
That's true.
Yeah, they would.
Rated Jetty?
Oh, they would, yeah.
Sounds
Desert orange. The desert orange is hard to find, and it's harder to climb the tree. The fruit is good, its skin is green and full of vitamin C.
Yes. That's true.
Okay, alright, yeah, quite often when I go walking in the morning there are these currawongs out there that kind of sing and stuff. They make a lovely noise. They're like, sort of like a cross between a crow and a magpie in a way. But this is called black currawong. So, you think you know who I am, how clever my disguise. I'm not old crow. I'm black currawong, look closely at my eyes. I'll share a secret with you, I know you'll keep it true. Old crow's fierce eyes glints shiny blue, while mine are a yellow hue.
Okay.
So yeah. Crows have blue eyes, currawongs have yellow ones.
Right.
Maybe they're jaundiced.
Are they from the same family? Kind of?
I don't think so. No, I'll look that up for you. Yeah. All right. Well, that's some of
If you could ask Gilbert
Kevin
two
Gilbert.
questions, what would you ask him? Two questions, what would you ask him?
Ooh. Well, you put me on the spot there. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know, that's fair enough.
What they call Australia before we get
Yeah, it is.
here.
There we go.
Hey, Steve. How you going?
Yeah.
Good,
I'd say he's the old fart, but he's like the fourth oldest here. He's definitely not the old fart. Yeah, how are you?
Good, I'm excellent.
All right. Well, I'm just moving on to now. Lionel Fogarty poems. These are ones that I found on Poem Hunter. Some that I've just downloaded and printed out. But I'm just going to give one called Love. Love, walk with me. Love, waken with me. Love is a black newborn. Camp fringe dwellers are my love. Love not seen in cities. Love is my father. Love is my mother. Scrubs are hid in bush love, and we say, love's mine. Love's alive and received. Love is a kangaroo. Love is an emu. Love is the earth. Love is the love of voice. Love is my friend. And what about us? Well, love smells. Us Murrays know it's love in bad love. Give us love, give us love. Our dreaming timing is our love. Kath, my love over a fire of love. Culture is our love. Culture is ourself in love. The school won't give you love, so we, Black Power, give you love. Proud and simply, love is the love to our lands. Love, love, walk with me, love, awaken me. Now give us true love. Lionel Fogarty. All right. Well, I'm actually going to ask Vincent to come up.
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
Tonight. Yeah. Come on up. Thank you very much, Vincent.
No problem. Thank you. Hello everybody out there on TV or YouTube, whatever they call it. Hello everybody here, and happy NAIDOT week. Okay, this one's called Car Crash. For My Mother by Craig Powell. She must have loved this one. A far time ago I drove into my street. When he sped the other way and ran me into the gutter, not looking. Oh, but you love me, he said. Later, some woman pelting from her drive near banged my car in two. Today another car, straight through a stop sign. What do I think of you? All these years since you died, I thought, I'd done my grieving, but no. Little old ladies keep slamming into me, you just won't let go. Car crash for his mother. Thank you.
Yeah.
For his mum.
For his mum. Yeah. All right.
Buddy.
All right. One more Lionel Fogarty poem here because I've lost my Alf Taylor book that I wanted to read out of. This is called Planet Earth. Pardon me. Planet Earth by Lionel Fogarty. There is a country burned of ashes far beyond the stars, where stands a skillful war left below, so calm, so cool. This country mine weeps away falling dews, leaves them foolish men, but one who will command the chang, there above the noise, sweet peace-crowned country, awaits our beauty, smiles. That's it. Alright, I'm gonna, Ashley, would you rewrite? Come on up. Okay, thank you very much. Ashley Albenese, ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
That's my three sources.
Oh, because you have no ruler.
No.
Is that what you say?
Just a quick discussion of that in a way. But I don't want to keep the viewers waiting. So my hypothesis this evening is that I have three sources. Japanese sources, because they're not round. Hypothesis, implication and parameter. My hypothesis is that there's nothing like a change. Variation within the theme. So instead of rulers, HIP, we have Japanese square sources going. H for hypothesis, I for implication, and P for parameter. The implication of this is that I have psychologically sought to control myself and you, dear viewer, by variation leading to excitement, which will lead to dancing, which will lead to reading and thought, and may lead to the final jump of faith. But I jest. I would not come without my lusty parameters, my measures, my measure sticks, stuck in the book I've been reading. Here they are, all three of them. Beautiful mauve colour. They tell me all the little girls, I don't know about boys, but they're into this purplish colour right now. What do they call it? Even Gladys has got it on. They're into this purple colour. So once more, let us have a hurrah as I go. Hypothesis?
Hurrah!
Oh, you did a good job, Vince. Your dog loved it too. He thought it was something unusual, the
Yes.
different white to purple shapes.
You like purple.
Implications.
Yippee!
Hurrah. Oh, yeah. And last but not least, parameters.
Hurrah!
So we have discussed the range of consciousness and the various ways it can manifest in triadics this evening. Just to give you a sense of continuity. Now, what have I been reading? I have been reading for about the 20th time Nettie Palmer's journal, 14 years. And I'm always haunted by the last pages that end with her describing the first guns booming of the Spanish Civil War as she holidayed near Barcelona, near the waterside, hoping to have a holiday, but the Civil War erupted. And as fate would have it, by accident, I got a copy of collected poems of Lou McNeice because Ross closed the door and went home when I was reading it out the front having a cup of tea in Bridge Street at Uralla. And I had always wanted to read Lewis McNeice's very famous set of poems, Winter Journal. And so I did read it. And strike me lucky or unlucky, it ends with a eulogy for Barcelona. Unbeknownst to me, he actually went at the beginning of the Civil War to Barcelona. And this poem ends as fate would have it thus. So I've been reading for about the 20th time Nettie Palmer's 14-year journal, which I would recommend to all thinking Australians, and I'd recommend it even more so to the unthinking ones. And I have been, oh thanks, I wanted a bit of a laugh, Vince, thanks for that. And the dog too. Here we have Lewis McNeice, and I finally got to have a skim through and digest what he's on about in Autumn Journal. So thanks for bearing with my mental journeying. Now, next we have a eulogy to the fact that you have to buy reusable bags wherever you go in supermarkets. Enviro Green, this is my poem too. Enviro Green reusable bag. We care for our environment. We care. Matisse-like calligraphy of a tree as the words drift down. Complies with Australian waste reductions regulations. And then the computer logo, which is the stamp of God, is it not? There before us. That's my effort towards something like that. Oh, thank you. I'm going to turn green, or I might turn red. Well, I thought that I would read the poem I wrote with dear old Gladys sitting at the table here. Pass me the poem. I got up without ringing you.
Did you want me to get a bit of paper? So
Oh yes, we'll do that tonight.
All right.
And a nice big text that will look good. Well, let us see. As my friend in Irkutsk would say, let us see. Talking to Gladys, the urge to write in couplets had us, and I observed and spoke away, and she had this to say. Between our cups of tea and chat, I asked her of her winter cat, and Perturbed, she did reply, both I kept now are gone, gone in the granite earth they lie. Both I kept now, her 2 cats are gone, in the granite earth they lie. I thought of Gladys in her little house, without her cats to stir the mouse. She smiled and said, now, running round right now. And I replied, what if a plague of mices ran amok? Would she sing poems to him, revving up the removalist truck? I thought I got some laughter again from Vince, but a dog didn't laugh. My fate is thwarted. The racing rats from, well, I thought that would be a true blue fate for Gladys at the parking gate. The racing rats from Granite Gyra swinging on a gate to fire her. She won't look back at their rude retort because she showed them clear disdain, not keeping supple cats to hunt them down the drain. They'll surge around the ghost of apricot and plum trees now cut down, while Gladys visits folk friends over Gyra town. Well, I had fun writing that. Now, here's one of my shorts. Saw, core, oh, more. Not really. I'll come up with that second. Saw, core, oh, not really. They're romantic buggers.
Yes.
Many women in my life have looked into my eyes and thought, well, I did get to look into your eyes, but you're not romantic. Now, let's go back. Let's go back to the 3 rulers: hypothesis, implication, and parameter. Oh, I love them. They remind me of my dad, who one day stood on the Mediterranean when the world was at war, looking into the tide and the changing colours of the Mediterranean, and he thought, being of Corsican ancestry through his dad, I have been here before, and I suppose Ralph had been there before, and will be there again. Now, I thought I would have a poem that I wrote and performed in Booth Street in Glebe many years ago, and one has to write this. When I do it with school kids, I find that 3, 6 months or even a year later, they'd recite it to me and bring it up and want to discuss the philosophical parameters, implications, and hypothesis of it. So here it is.
Mr. Swiggle.
No, not Mr. Swiggle.
Okay, still backwards.
Perhaps the meaning of all meaning is meaning.
Hurry up, hurry up.
It was their anniversary the other day too. Don't know how many years the other day. Yeah. It's upside down this time. I think you were right when you said.
Well, it can be any which way, this poem. It can be any which way.
I'm getting high from sniffing the pen.
Bit lower there, Ashley. Oh, no, you go down over there. You'll find it.
Just for any viewers who, whoops, I can also be yes,
Yeah.
I and nay in English, and it's still used. So there was my poem. I, the eyeless eye. I, Captain.
Oh,
Yes. And here's a very quick, can you keep holding it up a little bit?
Yeah.
Here's my comment about the world situation. Just remember, I can get 3 years jail in Germany for doing this.
Oh.
Whoa.
But it doesn't stop there. Here is my comment. How's that if you're a flamethrower shot by pressurised gas from a tank? Boom! Now we'll have a song. We'll have a song. Do you like my comment on the world situation? Poetic, isn't it? I've been channeling Paul Clay recently.
The eyeless.
The eyeless eye. Eye. Tragic, isn't it? Well, let's see. We'll have a song to launch off
Thank you,
into the
Blackboard.
starry blanket above the granite. Well, it hasn't been very cold. Steve looks quite happy, and he wanders around in his Irish mode with bare feet. There must have been something in the Gaelic tribes who nearly always kept to bare feet.
Just
Now,
that's a white boy.
my song, let me not detain you, has a circular mood in that, now I'll do one poem and then the song. If you could pass me the Anne Edgeworth. Because it relates serendipitously to a lot of the words and images flowing crystalline tonight. Here we go, the road to Leongatha by Anne Edgeworth. I think Anne was on the edge of being a very important poet indeed, but I would imagine family responsibilities and children somewhat took energy out of the word battery. Anyway, this is for, I'm reading this for my mate James, really, and for Gladys. It's called The Voice of This Country. The voice of this country is not morning strafe of cockatoo squadrons deafening at the time, but like all stirrers shooting through, soon gone, is not Currawong and magpie arias, more for La Scala or the Met, and not startling sparrow, minor carry-on, illegal immigrants, the lot, the voice of this country, is human and not human, calls in the silence across reaches of furred hills, straggle of stunted trees where water was, to a heart of rippled dunes, red sandstone scar, a solitary cry, crows long drawn, affirming silence, space and sky, the voice of this country. Laughter without humour, harsh, dry, as kookaburras, sun callers survey the latest arrival, scuttling up and down, uprooting, spraying death, polluting, having lost its way. And it has a very interesting layout and orthography, which James can discuss with you on a Tuesday night along the track. I'll finish with a song now. No, while my mum's still alive, I'll finish.
This is your phone ringing, but there's no hurry or rush. If it's really important, I'll leave a message and you'll get back.
In her womb, she used to sit in Hyde Park and read to me, when I was a weer chap than we, essays and poems and thoughts by Emerson. And I think Emerson always had some presence with me, because when I did my honours thesis was essentially about American thought, grounded and swinging back to Emerson. So here's a short poem in honour of my mum, who used to sit in Hyde Park and do that with me before I was even a bum, or a bawn, or a bear. So it's called Hyde Park, Sydney. Singer, cassette and Gounod, the city refuses to slow down and listen. Not even one of the gulls, pigeons or other lunchtime scroungers pauses between beakfuls to applaud her from the stalls. Marguerite, pouring your heart out. How lonely you seem among pensioners, trees and skyscrapers. A siren joins its wavering crescendo to yours. Did you dream of a gathering crowd, open bag heavy with coins, or of an answering tenor note and hurrying feet to your side, as together in this crazed town, you and your betrayer to be pour out the duet that rounds Act 2 and brings the curtain down. Marguerite of the concrete towers and shrouded sun, why are you singing of love there to no one? And I'll finish with a singy song by Douglas Stewart, which connects us back to some of James's interests and loves. And I think we've had a bit of the other Stewart lately. But I always thought that this would make he's written it in ballad spirit, and so I will sing it so. It's a sexy little piece of verse for an Australian. The dosser in springtime. How would we define dosser, Steve? What is a dosser?
What's a dosser?
We'll have to look it up, all of us Australiana people. The dosser in springtime. That girl from the sun is bathing in the creek, says the white old dosser in the cave. It's a sight worth seeing, though your old frame's weak. Her clothes are on the wattle and it's gold all over. If I was 20, I'd try to be her lover, says the white old dosser in the cave. If I was 20, I'd chase her back to Burke, says the white old dosser in the cave. Me swag on me shoulder and a haughty eye for work, I'd chase her to the sunset where the desert burns and reels, with an old blue dog full of fleas at my heels, says the white old dosser in the cave. I'd chase her back to Burke. Oh, I've been cooling here for years with the gum trees wet and weird, says the white old dosser in the cave. My head grew lichens and moss was me brain. The Greek was in me brain and a bullfrog in me belly, and she-oaks washed their hair in me all down the gloomy gully. Oh, says the white old dosser in the cave. I chase her back to Burke again and chase her back to Alice, says the white old dosser in the cave. I drop upon her sleeping like a beauty in a palace with the sunset wrapped around her and a black snake keeping watch. Oh, the black snake. She's lovely and she's naked, but she's very hard to catch, says the old white dosser in the cave. My eyes were full of water and my ears were stopped with bubble, says the white old dosser in the cave. Yabbies raised their claws in me, or skulked behind the pebbles. Oh, the water beetle loved his wife, he chased her round and round, and I thought I'd never see a girl unless I found one drowned, says the white old dosser in the cave. Many a time I laughed aloud to stop my heart from thumping, says the white old dosser in the cave. I saw my laugh, I saw my laugh, I saw my laugh go jumping like a jaunty old goanna with his tail up stiff, till he dived like a stone in the pool below the cliff, says the white old dosser in the cave. Oh, the jaunty old goanna with his tail up stiff got a good laugh out of Gladys. And guffawing from Vincent. Yeah. 2 more stanzas. There's a fine bed of bracken, the billy boils beside her, says the white old dosser in the cave. No one ever ate with me except the loathsome spider. No one ever lay with me beside the sandstone wall, except the pallid moonlight, and she's not good at all, says the white old dosser in the cave. But now she's in the creek again, that woman made of flame, says the white old dosser in the cave. By cripes, if I was 20, I'd stop a little game. Her dress is on the wattle, I'd take it off and hide it. And when she sought the golden dress, I'd lay her down beside it, says the white old dosser in the cave. Long live goannas, trouser snakes, and Douglas Stewart's gestures towards the Aussie bush.
I couldn't pronounce that cheese properly. I said a dosser.
The dosser's the swaggy, I suppose.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you very much. Actually,
Dosser in the cave.
well, in a minute I'll get Gladys up and Paul and Steve to finish off tonight.
First, I've got this book. I got the Alf Taylor book, Winds. The introduction here says that this book should be read from start to finish, which I have done, and just picked out some really beautiful poems, just 3 quite short ones, because the way that Alf writes, he sort of writes down the page. So I'll just show the people in Facebook there, and here, Gladys, so you can see how he writes. So I'm going to it'll be, as I read it out, you'll see how it affects the delivery. So the first one is called Magic Heart. I read this out last night online on Chill and Tuesday here when I did my reading out. So apologies if you're going to hear it again, but it's just such a beautiful poem that really needs to be heard. Your magic heart completely has me under your spell, locked in your warm embrace, hypnotized by the flames of your love. Taste your sweet words, taste your kisses, taste the breath that you breathe. I am at your disposal. I can tell your magic heart has got me completely under your spell. Next one, smile. Look yonder, beyond the border, a star is shimmering away in the darkness. Smile, twinkling eyes, embers of your heart, glowing silently in deep thought. 2 days of ecstasy, lifetime of memories. And the last one that I've got.
What was that called?
That was a smile.
A smile.
A smile, yeah.
Same was different, Johnny.
Yeah, that's right.
And I don't know, I've lost the other one. Alright, I'm not going to read another one because I've lost the other one that was really lovely. But what I am going to read is this little something I wrote a couple of days ago, and I'm going to get my props, and I will explain the props. Right. My grandparents on my mother's side, Arthur Musgrove and Irene Mary O'Shea, well, Nee O'Shea Musgrove. Well, this clock was my grandfather's bedside clock. It used to wake him up, used to wake me up too, and it sat like after he passed on my nana's, next to my nana's bed as well. And then this thing here, this microscope, for my 6th birthday, I wanted a telescope. And yeah, exactly. I ended up with a microscope. Now, I secretly was disappointed, but I didn't let it show. But at the end of the day, it's all about perspective, isn't it, really?
You got the core, not the saw.
That's right, yeah. So it didn't matter.
As
above, so below.
Yeah.
And just the other day I was listening to Bob Proctor, sort of motivational, sort of performance coach who just passed away the beginning of last year, I think, or last year. And he was talking about how important time is as an entrepreneur. some people like wage earners sell their time. And he was talking about, as an entrepreneur, time is the most important thing that you've got and what you do with that time. And I like to, when I learn some of this stuff, is to try and write it down and put it into poetry form, because it helps me to remember it in what I've learned, integrated into my being. It's, the last 4 lines are sort of a little bit removed and referring to the 2 props here, but it's 2 stanzas. Time is like a flowing river that you cannot hold. Time is precious when you're young, even more so when you're old. The world spins around, the sun comes up and then goes down, the second hand ticks and goes around and around. Time is the most precious thing that we've got. It can't be replaced, borrowed or saved. Time cannot be made up, so make the most of time while it's there. Please beware of time passing, please beware, beware. Time is moving, things are changing, wheels are rolling. Time can be productive or wasted, sitting scrolling with a passion for a goal that's believed and action taken. When you wisely spend your time, you will see what you are making. Time can be quite boring if you do nothing great. If you spend your time with purpose, you'll see what you create. But sitting wasting time scrolling is sort of kind of dumb when you can spend some time in creation and see what you become. My grandfather's clock sits on the dining room shelf, a timeless reminder to look after my health. Next to it's a microscope that I got for my birthday, reminding me that perspective is changing every day. That's it. Thank you very much. Yeah. So thanks for my ancestors and honouring my ancestors. Thank you very much. My grandmother, my grandfather, Arthur and Irene. All right. And I'm going to invite Gladys Wilson up.
Just a snippet.
Yeah.
I've got all
A little
the
bit of a new one coming up.
this is just a snippet. Good evening, everybody. Hello. And it's lovely to have you all back in here again to fifth class. But this one, I've just simply called it our bushland cooling, because it's after, you know, I've got the fires that we had our bushfires here earlier, and the bush sort of was burnt out, and the bushland is cooling. But this is what sort of happened, just in the middle. It's just our bushland cooling. Now, an eerie silence hangs over the bushland, because the bushland's all burnt out, bushland. And the rolling hills seem so far away as the setting sun begins to fade, the closing of another day. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Woo! Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Yes, our bushland, and I've got the ferns and everything, but yes, and all this sort of stuff happening. But this is just an eerie silence which hangs over the bushland and people further out. So that's what's happening. Anyway, I'll see my old mate over here.
Yeah.
You know, cousin. It's lovely to have you back. Oh, my God, wet.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now, I have got a couple. One for you before I invite Steve on. Actually, these ones are for Buddy.
Right.
Specifically, now for people out there in the video land can't see Buddy. Buddy's a dog, just sitting here. Show the people, Buddy.
Hey,
Now, this one's not for him, but the next 11 haiku will be. The one I've got now is dungwort. Now, my dad used to have an insult called that he would say dickwort. Now, I don't know, I just thought this one up the other way. Dungwort is a word that means festule on a turd. Use it freely as an insult because I just invented the word. Thank you very much. So, for example, he has a head that looks like a dungwort. He smells like a dungwort, and that's what we all thought. Right. Now, so on that shitty note, of course, dog shit the haiku series. 11 haiku, all about dog shit. Now, just reminder for everyone, a haiku is a 3-line Japanese style poem with first one is 5 syllables, second one 7 syllables, and the last line's 5 syllables. They don't have to rhyme or anything like that. Dog shit 1. Dog shits in path. Hand in plastic bag, picks up. Dog shit from the path. 2. Dog shits on the grass. Wipes its ass along the grass. Man steps on dog shit. 3. Mowing dry dog shit. Puff of white smoke in the air, hits nose and gags. Haven't we all done that? 4. Dog shit for breakfast is not really healthy and doesn't taste good. 5. Sugar on dog shit doesn't make it taste better, adds too many carbs. 6. Public rubbish bins often contain dog shit bags. Do not dumpster dive. 7. 7 is lucky. Stepping his dog shit is not when wearing no shoes. Hey Steve. 8. Dog shit and you too. Dog shit stinks, so does your poo. You shit in the loo. 9. Dog wee on a tree. Sniffing a pole, dig a hole, squat and do dog shit. 10. Rubbing dog shit on your feet will not make you grow tall. But you'll fucking stink. 11. Dog do number 2. Owner doesn't pick it up. Which town am I in?
Good.
Oh, it could be anywhere. There's owners like that everywhere. Yeah, no.
Say dog shit.
Well, look, this was specifically inspired by walking out my front door and looking on the path and finding dog shit. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, speaking of dog shit.
I'm going to leave now.
No. Welcome back, Steve Wordsmith. Please, back to the stage. Just
Well, it's really good to be here back at the Australian Poetry Hall of Fame. It's absolutely wonderful. When I hit the road at 4 o'clock this morning, okay, at a little place called Yelgam, there's a coffee stand there. It used to be my mate Dave Bean, but now it's been taken over by some other people. So anyway, I walks up to have a cup of coffee, and this bloke says, "I've been watching you on YouTube, on Facebook." I said, "Have you?" He says, "Yeah, open up your eyes to realise the real eyes and realise the real lies."
He said that.
Mate, and you walk into places and people say some of the things that said here in poetry. Yes, this morning, right? This morning. So Mel and Matt, it's really good to have yous around and see yous, and I've been so appreciating the show from everybody because the act of the whole lot has been stepped up. We've got something lovely going.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a beautiful thing. And I look at this young man. Okay, you know, when I've been talking around all the time, you know, I climbed up on the stage up there in bloody Yetman the other day, right? And there's all these young people around the place, and I said, listen, next time someone tells you you're old, you just tell them this, okay? That your cells in your body are changing constantly. So you're not old, you're friggin' brand new, right? The only thing that's different and wrong with you is your attitude and the things that's been taught you, right? So get your attitude right. Everybody needs to get their attitude right and be conscious of the people around them. If everybody just open up your eyes to realise the real lies, and we can change it and come into a brand new world. Now, I am a little bit weary, so I don't think I'm going to be doing too much poetry or anything, right? Because I have to say a big hello to our brother Larry down in Coffs Harbour Hospital.
Yes.
There, right? You know, I called him on the way through. I shot through from Moorumbar down the 31 down to Coffs Harbour, and I stopped in and saw Larry down there. Larry's in a pretty interesting place, a bit of a sad place at the moment. You know, he's struggling a bit, but we wish him all the best.
Yes, we do.
We wish him all the best, and we send him 100% positive attitude, and mate, it'll all be good.
That's right.
Hurrah!
Yeah,
Good one, man. So all the best, and I'm going to head back down into my nice little warm cave, if that's all right, James, because
In your cave, man.
into my cave down underneath the stage, because you know when you live under thunder, right? When you live under the stage of the thundercloud, right? It is loud. Okay, but when I'm the lightning under the thunder, that's a different thing, right?
One old dosser in the cave.
Well, that's up to you. I'll be whoever you want, that doesn't matter, man. But don't put anything on me, no projections, thank you.
Stay away from the girls.
Have a great day, and
Thank you, Steve.
you know, I'm the maker of magic and the weaver of dreams.
You be.
So, you know, have a great dream, and that the world is a better place because poets are in it. Have a lovely day. Thank you.
Whoa. Thank you very much, Steve. Alright, welcome back. That's cool. Alright, finish off with a few little things. I've got back to a bit more writing this week. In fact, just before we started tonight, actually just before Ashley walked in, I just finished one about a panda, because you don't have to be a panda or a poet to come to open mic, appreciate and show it. But I'll get to that after. This was before we had Abrahamic religions of Judaism, Islam and Christianity. There was animism, the belief that animals and everything has a soul. Well, quantum physics kind of says, well, we're all made up of energy in a field of energy and everything's connected and sort of, you know, might as well have a soul. Ants have souls and so do bees. I'm also certain so do trees. Why would anyone want to kill fleas, fungi and mushroom are living entities? Everything has a soul, even worms down in a hole, eagle, bear, elephant, also a mole. Each soul a perspective of the whole. Yeah. So that was, and then I was just wondering what would happen if everybody's nose and ears fell off. So the global nose and ear crisis is happening now. Ears and noses are just dropping off somehow. People are tripping over and falling flat on their glasses, losing balance, and they go and they even wear their glasses.
Hey,
Yeah, they just fall off.
they would.
And then I've got a couple more before, 3 more to go, I think, and then this one little short one, 2 half ones. I feel a little feeling that I've felt before, like arriving at a conference late and opening a creaky door. And everyone turns to stare as you take a seat, and you fart loudly, then it smells like rotten meat. Time goes in slow motion and starts to lag as a woman beside me suddenly starts to gag, and then she faints and passes out. Call an ambulance, I shout. That one is a little silly one. And before there's the one that I wrote before. Oh, okay. This one is sort of about respect. I don't often edit my poems, but halfway through this, I changed 2 words in the first sentence to pickled or unpickled. And before that, I had written down vaccinated or unvaccinated, but no, I want pickled or unpickled because it could refer to anything, literally. So pickled or unpickled metaphorically could be pissed or not pissed, vaccinated, not vaccinated, drug addict, not a drug addict. I don't give a crap. Are you pickled or unpickled? Because I don't give a crap. As I respect your choice either way, it's not my business where you're at. I've no right to make a judgment if you take drugs or you drink beer, single, polyamorous, transgender, straight, bisexual or queer. I don't want to change you because I can learn from you how I don't want to be and what I don't want to do. So thank you for your lesson on how I don't want to live. You know not what you do, so it's easy to forgive you for your bad behaviours, how you treat yourself like crap in an endless loop of repetition. Your own mind is your own trap. Yeah, because everything... And that was based on the Hermetic principle, is everything is mind, and whatever you focus on is your reality for the world. Whether you focus on the positive, the negative, the whatever. And finally, because I've got, excuse me, Julius the Flying Giraffe. Now that's probably my most favourite poem I've ever written, and I'm the one I like the most. But I was told today on YouTube, if you're going to start a t-shirt selling business, don't sell t-shirts with giraffes on them, because they're not, like, they're a niche market, they're not popular. People don't go looking up giraffes, but like they look up sloths because they're cute, like a sloth king. Or pandas lots of people like because they're cute. So I thought, well, I better write about a panda. I was going to call it Amanda the panda, but she was already like on some TV show. Peter the panda was feeling quite calm, sitting alone on the hill at the top of his farm. Along came a rooster and also a hen, but their crowing and clucking didn't interrupt his zen. Peter the panda was a zen master of now. Along came a pig, an elephant and a cow. The pig did a fart, the cow did a poo, the elephant peed. And what did Peter do? Nothing but sit and accept it all with gratitude. I can fertilise my veggies now, was Peter's attitude. I'm a panda and a farmer, and my food is bamboo, which loves elephant wee and also cow poo. I'm not at all concerned about the pig's fart. I could be cooking with gas if I would just start, but I never have to cook because I eat raw bamboo, which loves elephant. Well, so I'm so lucky I've got elephant wee and also cow poo. Peter the panda was feeling very lucky. He booked a flight from Sichuan all the way to Kentucky. He took with him his rooster and the chicken, sold them to KFC, and they became finger licking. Peter the panda sat atop a mountain for 40 days a night, but nobody was counting. His wife asked, "Where have you been and where's my hen?" I sold it to KFC, and on a mountain being zen. What else, eh? Yeah, I was like, that one just came out of the blue. It was probably fermenting in my subconscious all day since I decided to write about a panda. But that's what we got, yeah. So, KFC, finger licking chicken.
We'll have to go get some.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. Larry.
Recite Guy Restraint for us.
Ooh,
Goes well.
for Larry. This is for Larry.
Actually, it would be good for him, actually. And he's watching. Very good poem, James. I like Guy Restraint.
Guy Restraint by Thundercloud. The sun shines and the winds blow. It's dry, it's wet, there's sleet and snow. If you live in Gyra, you will get cold. Become tough and strong. Live real old. Living in Gyra has wind and sun. People here walk fast and run. Frosty briskness in wide blue skies. Red sunset and misty sunrise. Ice on Mother of Ducks lagoon. Spring rains bring more ducks soon. Sunset and the fresh day ends. Sitting round fires, yarning with friends. That one was written June, 15th of July, 2020, so nearly 2 years ago when I was here and it was cold and I'd just been here for a couple of months. So this weekend we've... Sorry?
What's the problem with Harry?
So a bit of a thing down the bottom. I won't say it on the camera. I'll mention it afterwards. He's in hospital, but his kidneys have shut down. He needs dialysis. That's part of it. So, but yeah, out to Larry. Hey Larry, lots of love. We're sending you a love. We know you'll get better, and we'll see you here soon. We hope very soon. So. Yeah, and everyone out there at Facebook, YouTube, send Larry down there in Coffs Harbour Hospital a bit of love and let him know that he's loved and we miss him. All right, thank you very much. And Saturday here we've got the Solomon Islands Independence Day happening. That's the 9th, Saturday the 9th, 5:30 p.m. There'll be dances and music as well. That's this Saturday. And then the 30th of July, we've got the Vanuatu Independence Day again. I'm not too sure of the times for that. Every Saturday morning, we've got the market here. Tuesday, Chillin' Tuesday poetry every Tuesday evening. And now, Australian Poetry Hall of Fame hosts the Armidale Martial Arts Academy. And they're having classes here Tuesday evenings and hopefully Thursday afternoon as well, 4:30. So that's a good thing for the kids' confidence and what's happening around Gyra town here. All right, thank you very much, and we'll see you. Give it a like, thumbs up, and we'll see you next week.